All right, just want to go over real quick the Hcalory diesel heater. It's an all-in-one unit and real easy to use, real easy to transport. It comes in this nice little durable box that you can open just in case if you need to service anything on the inside. And it comes on the front here. If you see, there's an air intake, and on the back of it where the heat comes out, that's where the port comes out. So it's really easy to set this up. It doesn't take much effort really at all. And here are the components that you use to set it up. You've got your heat duct, which you adhere to. It's got these little clamps, so that way it stays on. And then you've got your muffler right here, and then your air intake. And then the last thing is you've got two different types of power sources. You've got either the AC, which is what I use, or the 12 volt. It doesn't seem to use very much power. When I was out at Shovel Lake and Shovel Canyon using this last week, it seemed like it was using, I think it was about 30 watts. And it wasn't much. I mean, I ran it all night and I could hardly even tell on my battery. Another thing too is the fuel consumption. It doesn't use very much fuel at all. So there was, let's see, temperatures were about 20 when we were camping, and I was keeping it on level 5 or level 6, and that ran for 2 days, well, 2 nights. I didn't run it during the daytime because it was sunny and I was getting some good passive solar. But in the evening time, I'd start up about 5 p.m. when the sun was going down, and I'd run it until 9 o'clock in the morning and then get out of my camper at that time. So pretty nice to use, and like I said, it didn't use much fuel or power, which was nice. This comes with an upgraded aluminum body on the inside because this is the version 2, so they've made some improvements to it. It has an increased output for as far as temperature for the heating, anywhere from 50 to I think 60, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's nice to have a little bit of extra heat. The exhaust gas is decreased in temperature from 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's much cooler with the exhaust coming out of it. And then with the efficiency being better, you have 1.87 times more usage than the previous model, which is great. And it's really easy to use this with the app. That's what I just use when I'm either in the camper here or in the camper in my truck. And it's got you can turn the heat up or down. You can adjust the altitude. You can also preset areas, like if you wanted to come in and say, okay, in the camper here, I want to have it to be between this temperature range and this temperature range, you can do that. Lastly, the smart app control, which I use off my phone, is really easy to use. And you can adjust the altitude on it. It does have an auto adjustment on it, but you can dial it in to make sure it's 100% right with the altitude that you're going to. I did go up to 7,000 feet. It was no problem whatsoever. It's got a temperature setting on it as well, so adjust up or down based on your needs. There's also a timer function, which is real nice because if you want to have it to where it heats something up, but then you want to turn it off before you go to bed, so that way, if you like to sit cool, which I like to sit cool. I haven't used that timer feature yet, but I think I will on this next camping trip that I'm heading out on today. And then it gives you a real-time temperature view of how much or what the temperature is of the air coming out. I've noticed it anywhere from, 260 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to like 330 degrees Fahrenheit is what I've used. I haven't put it all the way up to 10 though, because it goes from 1 to 10 for the heat ratings and also the fan mode. And so I've done, the highest I've done is 7 on that, and that was like 330, I believe. On the fan mode, you've got 1 through 10 on that, and it's just simply a plus button or minus button, so that's really easy to figure out. And then you've also got a language mode, so you can select which language that you have. So overall, I'm real impressed with this thing. A lot of people complain about some of the heaters saying that it has a real loud clicking noise. I don't notice it with this unless I'm outside of my truck, then I can hear like a little tiny clicking going, but you can't hear that inside the truck or in my camper here at the property, just because the fan, when it goes, it creates like a little bit of white noise and it drowns that out. So overall, I'm real pleased with it. I think it's a great unit. I like it based on my needs because it's portable, so I can use it in the truck, I can use it in the camper, or I can use it in the gym that I'm building. And all I do is carry it over. It's lightweight, easy to use, and simple to transport. I decided to go ahead and remove my wood stove. Reason being is that the evening time now is getting down in the teens, and we've had some high winds, and just that stove, about every 3 or 4 hours I got to get up and stoke it. And so you don't get a full night's sleep with that because you're kind of up and down a lot. So if you see over here, I've got the diesel heater set up on my little ladder here. And just using the stove jack to put in the heat duct and into the camper, and it's keeping everything really warm. And one thing I really like about this is if you look here, let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. See how it says 1.6 kilometers? What happens is the diesel heater automatically adjusts to the altitude. And I've had no issues. I've been up to almost 7,000 feet, and that's where we were at camping last week. and by that lake, and also the really beautiful canyon and creek. Did just fine, you know, no problems whatsoever. All the heat cycles all the way up to 10, which just goes 1 through 10. I could do all the way up to 10, it was no problem. I did run that dry, the diesel out of it. Let's see, I think it was this morning is when it finally gave out. So I ran it for almost 3 days on low, which is insane. And that's only let's see, it's 6 liters, so that's 1.5 gallons, I believe, of diesel. And so that's really good because it was 72 hours of use on just one little tank in there, which I think is pretty impressive. It keeps the camper nice and warm. So if you come in here, you just see it's coming in right there. There's a little bit of an opening, you know, around it, but it's no big deal. But the air coming out of it, nice and warm. And then I can look on the app on my phone and control this, and that's what I love. And so, but the past few nights having it in here has just been amazing. Just sleeping all throughout the night, waking up, it's warm. You know, I don't have to get the stove going. Also, too, with the elbow bends that are on my stove, there's a little bit of backdraft with the smoke. And over time, that just kind of makes you cough and all that stuff. So I see that I'm breathing much better these days, not having any of that backdraft from the juniper wood that I'm burning. And also juniper wood, when you do burn it, it can put off some noxious fumes. And so just not having that in here is nice. And then also having my clothes not smell like a wood stove is really nice, because that's what was happening. So I did all my laundry today, got everything all cleaned up, and you know, just gonna kind of hang out. The nice thing about the heat is that it's just on demand. You know, so you turn it on, boom, you get heat. So you don't have to wait for the stove to start or anything like that. Another thing too is that you know, when I was working with the wood stove, the thing is I've got a shield on there for the wind. But a lot of times at night, especially in the winter months, the weather will change and the wind direction will change. Then you'll wake up and you're getting backdraft on your stove. So having the diesel heater in here has been a complete game changer. So what I want to do now is go over the specs of this and just explain how it works. You know, talk about any of the concerns. Like a lot of people talk about how the diesel heaters have like a clicking noise, and I don't notice it in here. Like, you know, here we're having it run, and all you do is just hear the air coming in. You don't hear any of the clicking noise, so that's pretty good. The best thing about this being portable is that I can use it in my truck, I can use it in my camper, I can use it in my shipping container, because I'm going to convert that to a gym. I'm in the process of doing that. So in the wintertime, if I want to go out there and work out, no problem. If I want to go winter camp in my truck, no big deal. I just grab this, unhook the air duct for the heating hose, unhook the muffler on it, and unhook the air intake. Take those with me. It's easy to transport, easy to set up, and it's just like I said, you know, heat on demand, which is really, really nice.